God and a disciple called Aatish were walking one day along a beautiful promontory, regarding the richness of nature, the expansive vistas and the wonderful sky. As evening drew closer and the daylight began to fade, God looked at Aatish and said, "Would you please go and fetch me a glass of water?" Aatish scrambled down the side of a steep valley, perceiving the lights of a nearby village where there might be a well or a welcoming house. As he got closer, he found a little house with lights burning in the windows, and he knocked on the door. A young woman answered. She had a beautiful face, and warmth and light radiated from the house, which felt welcoming and inviting. She invited him in, and the family was insistent that he come and warm himself by the fire and have supper with them. Charmed and captivated by the ambience and the warm welcome, the man passed a pleasurable evening, hardly able to take his eyes off the beautiful young woman who had answered the door. It was only right that he should stay the night, so a bed was made for him in the spare room, and he went to sleep with a wonderful deep contentment filling his very being. In the morning he was woken by the cock crowing, and came downstairs to share a delicious breakfast with the family. He offered to help with the household chores, and one thing led to another, so that as the days passed he found himself feeling happier and happier, and falling deeper and deeper in love with the young daughter of the house. In time he married the young woman, and they had children. He enjoyed his life as a husband and a father. He was happy, and life was good. One day a great storm came to the village. Everything fell into chaos. The storm grew stronger, and the deluge caused a mighty flood. The man and his wife tried desperately to save their house and their belongings, but the flood overwhelmed them. He watched as his wife was borne away by the waters in spite of all his efforts to save her. He was unable to save his children too from drowning, and the village was completely destroyed. As the waters abated, he was washed up on the side of the valley. When he regained consciousness, he found himself lying on the wet mud, just barely alive. He staggered to his feet, and slowly he realized what had happened and all that he had lost. He began to wander aimlessly, his body racked with sobbing, his freezing muscles hardly able to keep him from falling over. He cried until he had no more tears inside. Then, with his fists clenched and his face turned toward the sky, he screamed out to God to save him from his misery and his despair. A voice replied to him out of the early evening darkness. "Do you have my glass of water?" The man suddenly remembered, and he rose and joined God.